It is time for you to go into isolation for some time, not forever, but for some time. And it is in this isolated stage where you will evolve into the new you, who you truly are. You see, up until now, you've been molded by the reality around you, be it people, friends, family, the music you listen to, your environment, pop culture, everything. It all adds to who you are subconsciously. And when we get older, what happens is if you could visualize this ball of glowing energy, and this is your true identity, with time we're adding on layers like an onion. And we're not really consciously aware of these layers. It's just kind of how we operate. The issue with this is that if you are someone with ambition, you want to pursue something great in this life, you want to do challenging things, there are layers of this, of your mental framework, if you will, that are faulty, that aren't working for you, but have been under the radar this whole time. I want to make it clear that not all of your layers, not all of the levels to this structure of a mental framework you have built up your entire life is faulty. There are characteristics about you that are good, of course, but it's important we identify the weak pillars of this structure that are causing us to sway and not have a stable foundation, because that is exactly what is causing you to face these repeat failures when you go to try and pursue something that is ambitious. You don't have a firm basis of who you are. You don't fully understand and embody your identity, which is why it's hard for you to consistently choose the correct decisions, the correct choices, which will put you further down the path of success. You see, the reason we make choices is because it is what most closely identifies with us. That is why it's a bad characteristic to do something that is out of your character, that is outside of your normal behavior. That's why it's looked down upon. We do things that align with our identity. So if you want to be this person and you want to live this lifestyle, right? But your current identity that you live by is misaligned with that, this person who has this identity is going to make different choices than this person who has this identity. Does that make sense? So that is why it is so crucial for us to be able to point out our weak pillars, the faulty layers that have been under the surface all this time. We need to extract the roots of the invasive species that is kind of festering in our soul, in our mind. That is how you will utilize isolation to evolve into the new you. This is such an important part of your life, because what is happening is you are shedding your skin. You are leaving your old life behind, your old ways, your bad habits, the things, the people, the behaviors, the presumed methods of action, the limiting beliefs which have been holding you back all this time. You are saying goodbye to. Now, a lot of people are scared of this. And that sounds crazy because it's like, oh, why would you not want to become the dream version of yourself? Well, when it comes time to confront certain parts of you that need to be ridden of, that need to be changed or cut off of you, that can be an uncomfortable experience. But I want to tell you something. There is no reason for you to feel any fear in this process of isolation, to confront the parts of you that no longer are working for you anymore. These are not things to be ashamed of or make you feel disappointed in yourself by any means. It's just life. We grow up as kids and we're having fun and we hang around people that maybe we shouldn't be hanging around. We're influenced by our parents and the schooling system and society as a whole, the news, media. It's like there's so much noise going on in this world. Really, it's not your fault. It's mostly out of your control, unfortunately. But now is the time where you become the pioneer. Now is the time where you have a say. And assuming you want to do something great in this life and pursue a path of legacy and ambition and passion and adventure and righteousness, this is day one. This is day one of you walking that path. So how do you do this? Isolating the mind is simply the process of getting rid of all the distractions. So set aside 30 minutes to an hour. That is more than feasible. If you can't find 30 minutes in your day, then you're making an excuse. Set aside 30 minutes to an hour. Get rid of the phone, no social media, no TV, no noise, no music. Well, you can listen to music, but it can't have any lyrics. So it must be something like a one heart that is like an atmospherical grounding music, or like a frequency, a meditative ambience, or classical music. Those are the only types of music that you can listen to. If it has lyrics in it or it has like this melody, it's going to throw your mind off, and none of this is going to work. Preferably no music. I turn off all the lights. The natural light, I feel like it messes with my eyes and it's quite distracting. So I turn off the lights. I go into like this sensory deprivation type of environment, and I typically do this in the shower, actually. So it literally feels like I'm in a sensory deprivation tank. And you're going to close your eyes and you're going to focus on your breathing. And your thoughts will spin for some time. But eventually it will stop and you'll reach the state of groundedness. And everything will kind of be in sync. And you'll be in this neutral state, in which I call the liminal state. And it is here where you can use visualization as a tool. I like to visualize myself in this grass plain, tall blades of grass that are kind of swaying in the wind, and the sky is cloudy and gray, and the clouds are rolling. And I stand alone in this grass plain with this tall structure that it looks abandoned. It looks desolate. It is just the shell, the bones of the structure that is standing. And it is old, and it has cracks in it, and there are pillars which are sagging and causing the building to sway and be unstable. When I was in my transformative stage, and still to this day when I feel that I need to shed my skin, I visualize this. And I understand that the building is my mental framework. And I identify each individual pillars which are no longer working, they're no longer firm. And I associate a characteristic or a bad habit of mine that I want to change with this pillar. And I go down the line and I pick out all the things that must change about me, things that I need to leave behind or restore. And this visualization helps me objectively look at the changes that need to be made. And I'll sit there and I'll stare at this structure and I'll walk around it for 15, 20 minutes. And when I am done, I simply say goodbye, and the structure falls, and the dust rises, and I look at the rubble that stands there, and I wipe the slate clean. I wipe the slate clean, and I am left with flat ground to work with. You see, what we have to do is get rid of the crappy foundation that we're currently standing on, the foundation that is causing us to sway, that is causing us to be inconsistent, that is causing us to be lazy, that is causing us to do things that we know we shouldn't be doing. We have to get rid of it. Do you understand? We have to get rid of it and be willing to say goodbye. once I visualize this and I'm done, I will do some breathing. So what I will do is I will, for 30 seconds, breathe in as deep as I can and out as deep as I can. And you will feel lightheaded when you do this, and that's because it is oxygenating your blood. And the reason that is important is because once you get your blood super oxygenated, you're going to let out, at the end of the 30 seconds, you're going to let out all your air and hold it. And you'll find that even though you have no air in your lungs, you'll be able to hold your breath for over a minute, which you wouldn't be able to do prior to this breathing. Once you run out of breath, you're going to take one deep breath in as much as you can and out again. And once you breathe all your air out, you're going to hold your breath again. And instead of a minute and 30 seconds of holding your breath, you'll hold it for maybe a minute. Once you run out of breath, deep breath in, deep breath out. Hold it for as long as you can and repeat until you have to just breathe normally. And once you do this, your heart will slow down. Your mind will be clear. And it's like the visualization that you had done just prior is now cemented into your subconscious mind. Once you are finished with this routine, which again takes no longer than 30 minutes, you'll be in a state of mind that is very clear. You will find clarity, I promise you. And it is a type of clarity that is life-changing. What you're going to do is use this clarity to identify where you want to go from here. Once you have wiped the slate clean and you have flat ground to build a new foundation on, you're going to use this sense of clarity, this state of mind, to pick a direction, a destination. Now, do not be mistaken. This destination is not a career. It is not a financial status. It is not a lifestyle. It is your identity. And you might ask, well, how do I know what my identity is? How do I define what my destination is in that regard? And the answer is, it's going to take some time. You won't know immediately entirely who you truly are. But things will be revealed to you. And as you try things and you go throughout life with this newfound clarity, that is the important thing. The reason it didn't work before is because you did not have a clean slate and you did not have a clear state of mind. Now you do. With this clarity, you'll be able to truly identify what you identify with. And you'll say, yes, that is for me. Or you'll say, no, I don't really like that. Whether it be an aesthetic or a friend group or a hobby or whatever it may be, a career that you want to pursue. Maybe you want to be a content creator or a YouTuber. Maybe you want to be a Twitch streamer or an artist, whatever it is. By isolating yourself and shedding this old skin, identifying the weak pillars which have caused your mental framework to sway and demolishing it and wiping the slate clean and finding this clarity, you'll be able to, again, be the pioneer of your life. And with time, you'll build that foundation again. You'll have a strong basis in your roots. Your roots will grow deep into the soil and you'll be strong and you'll grow taller and taller and taller. And with time, you'll evolve into that new version of you, the version of you that you have been all along, truly. Because like I said, since the beginning of time, your who you truly are is like this glowing ball of energy. And all it took was for you to peel back the layers. And with every step you evolve into this new version of you, life gets poetic. It is a beautiful experience. Because when you know who you are and you understand what is for you and what is not for you, you develop this confidence, this sense of control in your life that really you begin to feel like the author of a book. You begin to feel like the director of a grand masterpiece of a movie, the greatest movie ever to be made. I know I have come to view life in a very poetic manner through this experience. And it is something that I still practice as we are ever evolving, as we are always progressing and developing into a stronger, wiser, more calculated and well-equipped version of ourselves. So my friend, I am so excited for what is to come in your near future and distant future, and I hope you are too. I wish you all the best, and I will see you soon.